I'm Gemma and I'm from Basis Yorkshire, and I'm really pleased to have been invited along today to speak to the Women and Girls Network. My three key points from my presentation were around the survivors of CSE are incredibly resilient, so children who've been sexually exploited moving into adulthood are really resilient, and women whose sex work aren't necessarily exploited, and it's really key for us as an organisation to recognise that women can be empowered within that, whilst recognising that children who are sexually exploited, it is definitely exploitation, and we need to tackle perpetrators as well as support young people. The other one is that CSE doesn't lead to exploitation as an adult, not necessarily, and our findings are that from our historic CSE survivors pilot work for the Home Office, 50% of women who've been sexually exploited didn't go on to sex work, 50% did, so there are some differences in that. And women should be empowered, and girls and boys who are sexually exploited should always be empowered to make the choices that they want to make and lead a happy and fulfilled life. So my three recommendations for funders are firstly to say thank you to any trusts and foundations that invest in services like ours and any others. It's really valuable. We have our major sources of income are from trusts and foundations, and that gives us a degree of independence as well. So it's to recognise that trusts and foundations have a huge part to play in the voluntary sector, and that entrenched and complex problems do require longer term investment, and so there needs to be a commitment really from funders for more than 1 year for funding if possible, so that we can really begin to work with some women and also girls and boys who've had really quite complex backgrounds and experienced multiple needs. The other thing about small charities is that we are quite fragile, so we often are reliant on short-term funding, and because we're a smaller organisation we do have challenges around our core costs, and I think that's recognised, but that would be something else I'd appeal to funders about. And then a third thing's about any flexibility that can be offered. So one of the key issues for us is around children and young people moving out of sexual exploitation and making progress with their lives, but still having some vulnerabilities as they move into adulthood. So the key age range of between sort of 16 and 20, 21, 22. And for those children who've got additional needs like learning disabilities, they do need longer term help. So there's a real key point in people's lives, young people's lives, at that midpoint where we'd really appreciate flexibility from funders as well.